back to your main mission objective, which is, of course, rescuing the president's daughter, Ashley, who turns out to be a little whiny bitch, and I thought she would be a useless character and play absolutely no purpose in this, considering she doesn't hold a weapon or do anything but whine and scream. And all you have to do is protect her and make sure she doesn't die, because if she dies, you could still be alive, but nope, that doesn't count. You have to start from the last checkpoint. That really gets annoying, having to hear her scream, and it really puts your patience to the test, being that you have to protect not only yourself, but her at the same time. But at least you get to play as her at one point, but you can't hold a weapon. What is her main weapon of self-defense? Urns. Yeah. She's pretty much defenseless, unless you can wiggle out of these stupid flesh-eating suckers. And all you do is operate different contraptions and doors and shit. Not to mention these grounds could be littered with booby traps and all sorts of bear traps and shit. Some of them could be clearly visible, but at some point you can't freaking see them. The best way to avoid these stupid things is to, well, just shoot them. Or use your melee weapon on them. But with the explosive wiring, you gotta shoot them from a distance. Otherwise, you're still gonna take it up the ass with those. So those are the only few nitpickable things on my list. I'm sorry if I pissed you guys off. I didn't mean to bash the game. It already gets enough praise as it is. And I could agree more with everybody else. I just don't think it's perfect, like everybody says. Anyway, yeah, it's still a kick-ass ride. The graphics are, once again, I have to say, great. I mean, the elements and the tone of the game, walking through the woods, the dark graveyard, the thunderstorms, the swamps. Yeah, I know there's a lot more to this game than these levels, but obviously these are the key environments to this game that make it what it is. I mean, with the music, it couldn't have fitted any better than this. Good game, but damn one hard son of a bitch. But nothing much to say there. I give it a rockin' shotgun up. That one, despite its difficulty. So, obviously with the success of this game came the direct sequel, but I have it on Xbox 360, Resident Evil 5. Let's take a look. Yeah, thanks. I think I can read the title. Anyway, this game seems to have some sort of a tie-in to the last one, but actually it really doesn't. All the characters, the whole plot outline, the location, all different. No Leon in this game. Instead, your main character is Chris. But then you're joined along with, come on, another female character, and, whoa, she actually uses a gun. Shit. Now that's what you call a good, useful companion. And yes, it plays that same rule. If she dies, that's it. You can't move on. You both have to protect each other. It's all about fight for survival. Yeah, of course it plays the same rules as in the last game. Not much has really changed, but I just feel this game is more of my cup of tea. I mean, yeah, the camera anglings are not much different. The hit detection and the weapon controls are not much different. The grounds can be littered with booby traps, so you gotta watch out for those, or just shoot them. You do have a wider range of weapons in this game. And unlike the last game where you only can buy weapons from a weapons salesman only at a certain point, this game you can actually buy them in between missions. Even after you die, you can still organize and buy and upgrade weapons. Big improvement right there. And another big improvement they finally got right is you actually can bring up a map screen without having to pause the game. Sweet. Now that's what I'm talking about. But only downside is they added the map screen, but they took away the option of having to pause the game in order to switch between weapons. Instead, you have to do it in between gameplay. This could be a big problem if you get surrounded by a lot of these flesh-eating suckers. Jeez, come on, if one weapon runs out of ammo, there's nothing I can really do. I have to either switch to it or resort to using my melee weapon. Yeah, of course you get the melee weapon again, not much different than the last game. Same control scheme. And not to mention the gameplay is once again non-linear. Sort of like a Zelda game. Finding keys, getting through different passageways, and of course, working as a team. Yeah, of course you're heavily reliant on your teammate in order to access different points of different levels. So it definitely takes a lot of problem solving in order to figure out, as well as the boss fights. Yep. You want boss fights? You got a whole shitload of them in cans. Some of them could be, well, fun, but some of them could be a real pain in the ass. That is, if you don't know how to beat them right. The game, of course, takes place in Africa, where, as you can see, mostly desert. But there is wider varieties of environments in this game. But I think overall the desert and the sands pretty much set the main tone of the game, at least in my opinion. And as the plot goes, I think it's a little more simpler compared to the last game, not as forced. This game actually has a main villain, so I think it's pretty straightforward. And of course this villain, as you know, you end up fighting him at the end. And he's one of those villains who I swear is just too stubborn to die. I mean, you face him not once, not twice, but 3 freaking times. No joke. I mean, come on, you think that's enough? And yeah, of course being the main villain, he's of course responsible for the zombie outbreak plague. Or, what the hell are these things? I don't know if they're zombies, or they have a weird name for them. Weird shit starts coming out of their heads, and all I can say is, ew. As a matter of fact, all the zombies in this game are weird. There's a wide variety. Yeah, you got your basic zombies where you shoot them and they're down, but they don't always die instantly. Sometimes this weird shit starts coming out of their head, as you may remember in the last game I forgot to mention. And sometimes these bat things start flying out of their head. And of course you have zombie dogs, kind of reminds me of the wolves from the last game, forgot to mention, I apologize. And they even brought the zombie chainsaw men back, who I swear look even more threatening than the last game. I swear to God, this one scene, you will shit your pants the first time seeing it. And the music, I kid you not, it couldn't fit the tone any better. And these enemies have once again this one-hit kill bullshit. I can't stress that these games... But is it really unfairly difficult? In some ways it may seem like that, but not really. It's to put you to the ultimate test and see how much of a hardcore gamer you are. I mean, it's difficult, but it keeps you coming back for more and more until you've beaten it all the way to the end. There's different modes of difficulty, and I've only beaten this on easy mode. But I can honestly say, it was difficult enough. Another challenging zombie game of a great franchise, and I'm only hoping that the next game, Operation Raccoon City, does great, which I'm sure they will. I have faith in Capcom to make another great follow-up, or prequel, or whatever it is, to this series. I don't think they can make one bad game even if they tried. Even back in the days of the NES, they were still at the top of their game. And even to this day and age, they still got it. I'm well aware there's also split-screen 2-player as well as Wi-Fi, but there's only really so much I can do. But I really wanted to touch more onto the basic gameplay itself, not the different modes of gameplay. And yes, I'm also aware you can actually play as Shiva, but most of the time I like playing as Chris. Enough said.